Hello everybody, it's Dana Sullivan, your Stampin' Chick, here with another Make It Monday! How are you today, my friends? I hope you had a fabulous weekend. Our weekend was great. It was lovely weather outside, and looks like there may be an end to the madness of COVID-19, so we just gotta hang out a little bit longer. So, while I'm hanging out, and I thought I would make a card for you and share it. I think you're gonna like it. I am all about this new Share Sunshine PDF that Stampin' Up! Has released for us to use to print out and use on cards and gifts and projects. And I saw this little face mask on YouTube and I thought that was such a cute idea. So this is not my idea, but I loved it, so I wanted to share it with you. And I thought it goes perfectly with that little PDF. So I am going to show you how to make the little mask and show you a little bit about the PDF also. And down in the description of the video, I'll post a link where you can get the PDF as well. And it's 15 pages packed full of really, really cute sentiments and images. I'll just show you a few. There's nobody I'd rather stay home for, and I've die cut it with the stitch squares, so you can see that's super cute. Love conquers all things, and that's the stitched rectangles. This one is really cute. Stay safe, stay apart, flatten the curve, and it comes in a couple of different colors. And I'm using the layering circles dies to do that one. Super cute. This one I just cut. I haven't actually cut it out with anything yet. This one's a layering circle, and I would put a scallop circle behind it. And then there are a couple of them that you can use those 2 heart punches with. Super, super cute, and I love the sentiment and the font with this one. Though we are not together, we are close at heart. So cute. Anyway, there are a bunch of sentiments and images, and they're all absolutely adorable. I totally share my toilet paper with you. And folks are already starting to print out and download, download and print out these really cute sheets, and then they're using them for all sorts of fabulous projects. So here's another one. There's no place like home for now. I love that. This too shall pass. I stay home because you stay at work. Anyway, there are a lot of them. They're super cute. And like I said, 15 sheets altogether. And Stampin' Up! Is donating 100% of the proceeds to a couple of organizations that are working hard to help out with the COVID-19 situation. So when you make the purchase of $12 for the PDF printout, you can choose one or the other or both of the organizations to make your contribution to. And so it's the WHO, World Health Organization, COVID-19 Relief Project, and then United Way COVID-19 Relief Project. I think they probably have a more specific name for each of their projects than that, but basically that's what it is. And you can click the link below. It'll take you to the website where you can order, and it will tell you exactly what the name of their particular COVID-19 program is. But you can choose to either give all of the proceeds to one or the other, or you can split it up in half betwixt the two, which is really cool. So anyway, we still have a lot of folks that are and have been working kind of on the front lines of all of this, and this is where the face mask card really comes into play, because I have a few friends who are in the medical field, and I'd really like to send them a card just so that they know, thank you, I appreciate all of their efforts and hard work, and that people are thinking of them, and that they do matter, So when you're working really hard, especially in really intense and stressful situations, it's really nice just to be able to to see that people do actually appreciate you. So anyway, this is what we're going to make. I will show you how to make the mask, but before I do that, I'd like to just show you a few of the cards that I have already made with the PDF printout. So now Stampin' Up! Donates 100% of the proceeds. The demonstrators don't get a percentage of it either. We don't get commissions off of it. We're just doing it because we want to do something to help out. So I'm encouraging you to purchase the PDF, and it doesn't benefit me in any way, shape, or form. But it's just something nice that we can do for our communities and for our fellow man. And you know, I may not be able to do much, but I can do this, right? So, all right. So this one is super cute. I love the whole wash your hands, and the fonts, like I said, the fonts are amazing. They're so pretty. And then on the inside, I've got my hands miss feeling moisturized and my heart misses you. So cute. I'm so ready to have cookouts and get-togethers, but I'm patiently waiting. Here's another one that's super fun. Let's just roll with it, and we've got the toilet paper. This is one that I did last Wednesday. I cased this particular card design from my friend Rick. And then, of course, I changed it up just a tiny bit, but basically it's his design. And then I added sending love and support on the inside of it. So I just thought it was a really, really cute card that he did. And then here is that heart one that I love so much. And I used the Meant to Be, Stitch to Be Mine dies. I think that's what they're called. I always forget. And so this is a really cute piece, and all of these little hearts came from the die cut deal there. And then on the inside, so lucky to have a friend like you. Very cute. And then the last one, I'd totally share my toilet paper with you. That's probably one of my favorites. And then on the inside, sending love, and if I could, toilet paper. So I just think that it's a really, really cute PDF, which means that you can print them out, and you don't have to worry about having a stamp set. So, of course, that we ask you not share the files, that you just share the link for other people to purchase the files, because obviously we're trying to raise money for the two organizations. So anyway, all right, shall we get to our project? Okay, I am using supplies from the 2018-2020 in colors, and I'm going to, where am I going to start? I'm starting here. Okay, I need a 5.5 by 8.5 inch card base that's scored at 4 1/4, and as I said, this is our card base. And then I have another piece of Whisper White that measures 3 3/4 by 5 inches. And I'm using this piece of cardstock to layer on, and I've already pre-cut, but this is some 2018-2020 Designer Series paper that I have left over. And I want to get these scraps used up. So this is a little technique that Bruno Bertucci had shared with folks, and it was a lot of fun, and it's kind of taken the internet by storm. Way to go, Bruno. And so I'm going to do it with you guys today. And cutting the scraps was super easy. I just made sure they were the same length, and then just cut them at angles as I went down across the paper on my trimmer. And then we're going to glue them onto this layer, and then we'll trim the excess and layer it together. So it's actually going to have kind of a rainbow background, which, as you probably know, is kind of a symbol for this whole thing with people and the situation with COVID-19. Folks are sharing rainbows everywhere to show that there's light at the end of this tunnel, and we're all going to be just fine. So I am using these colors because they're beautiful and they're bright and they remind me of that rainbow. So you'll need scraps for that. And of course, on my sample, I just did a 4" by 5 1/4" layer of designer series paper, and that was it. I mean, I kept the card super simple because I wanted the focus on the mask itself, because it is just really stinking cute, right? And I have another of the masks right here, and I just love it. It's so cute. Anyway, I'm going to make another card with this one at some point too, probably this evening. But I'm thinking with some other colors here. But anyway, so you'll need your scraps, you'll need your cardstock, and then for the mask itself, you need a piece of designer series paper that measures 2 1/8 by 2 3/4 inches. So 2 1/8 by 2 3/4, and then you're going to need some ribbon that is 1/8 inch. So you want to have that on hand, and then you're also going to need some tear and tape, and you're going to need some strips of cardstock that some of them will measure 1/4 inch and the others will measure 1/8 inch. Alright, so we want to get that together. And I'm going to use my little mini trimmer here. I love this thing. Okay, so I've got 3 inches there, so I'm going to go 2 7/8 inch. And 2 3/4. Now I want these strips because I'm going to trim out my mask, and it's so uncanny how realistic the mask looks and how we're assembling it, because I mean it's kind of like we're sewing it together but with tear and tape. So okay. So you have a couple of scraps of 1/4 inch cardstock and a couple of scraps of 1/8 inch cardstock and your tear and tape. Alright, and so all you're going to be doing, let me just put it on this big one. All you're going to be doing is putting your tear and tape along the edge all the way down the cardstock, because you want the whole back side of the cardstock adhesive, okay? That's just going to make life a lot easier for you. Alright, and then the same thing with the 1/8 inch. So with that, because I'm probably going to make another one anyway, I'm going to line up my tear and tape with one edge of the 1/8 inch paper, and so that's going to give me this 1/8 inch paper totally covered with tear and tape, but it's going to leave 1/2 of the tear and tape without any paper on it. So you see it's really sticky on this side because it doesn't have paper all the way across. And then I'm just going to take this other little 1/8 inch strip, and we'll be able to line it up side by side right here and have 2 strips now. There we go, that are covered with the tape. Alright, so you're going to also need your scoreboard. So if you will get your scoreboard out, and I'm going to get my designer series paper here. Make sure that you can see me. Alright, we're going to be working on the short side of our piece. So you'll notice one side is a little shorter than the other. That's the side we want to work on. And first mark is going to be at 1/2 inch. So on this side, we're going to mark at the 1/2 inch quarters, or 1/2 inch intervals, I should say. So we'll go 1/2 of it, excuse me, my goodness, 1/2 inch, 1 inch, and then 1 1/2 inch. And then we're going to flip it over so that we're now on the other short side. and we're going to score at 5/8 of an inch. So this is just a tiny little mark off from the other. We'll go 1 1/8 of an inch. And then we're going to go 1 5/8 of an inch. So now we've got 1/8 inch marks 3 times on this paper, okay? All right, now what we're going to do is an accordion style fold back and forth across each of those 1/8 of an inch sections. Those are going to create our pleats. All right, so we're going to go back and forth, and then back, and forth. And that last one is probably going to be a little trickier because you don't have as much paper behind you to hold against it. So there we go. And then you're going to take your bone folder and really give it a good press. And then flip it over and do the same thing. Okay? Alright. There we go. And so now you have the pleats for your face mask, just like a real face mask. Isn't that cool? And we're going to pop it out just like this, but not before we put our edging on. Okay? Alright, so the first thing we want to do now, or the next thing rather, that we want to do is separate our little quarter, our 1/8 of an inch strips of cardstock here, because we only need one at a time. There we go. All right. Let me give it a good burnish so that it doesn't give me any troubles. Of course it's going to anyway because I'm recording a video. That's kind of the law of tear and tape, I think. Okay. All right, there we go. Fold that little tail over. Okay, now just like an actual surgical mask, it's got this trim across the top and bottom and then the seams on the side, okay? And so we're going to put the trim across the top and the bottom of our mask. And I'm just lining it up with the edge, just like so. Go ahead and trim it off, that's fine. And then line it up, and look at that, I had just enough. That was awesome. I'm not going to worry about that right there. I'm going to cut off this tiny little section. That was good. I couldn't have timed that better if I tried. Alright, now we've got our 1/4 of an inch paper, and once again we're going to burnish down that tear and tape so that way it doesn't give us any troubles. And there we go. Alright, now this time we're going to go along the edges of the pleats on the sides. And what I want you to do is line it up with the edge just like you've done the others, and you're really going to burnish it down. I mean really, really good. And then trim the excess. We'll go to the other side and do the same thing. We'll line it up, trim the excess. just like so. And then we're going to flip it over and do the same thing on either side again. Now, we didn't have to do this with the skinny trim on the top and the bottom because that was more for the decoration. But this time, we're going to put the seam on it. And the seam is actually like bias tape on a real mask. And it goes over the edges. So we want ours to go over the edges too. And just like so. And what we're doing here is actually, just like with the real mask, we're binding that seam together so that way the pleats don't come out. Alright, so now you're going to give it a really good press, and at this point you could burnish those little sections just a little. You don't want to push too hard in this with your bone folder because it'll make kind of little marks on your paper. So just burnish it kind of easy, but still firm. Okay, so now we have the basis of our mask, and if we were to open up the pleats, just like magic, it looks like a real face mask, right? Alright, but now it's not likely to stay that way, so I'm going to need a little more of the 1/4 of an inch strip here. So we're going to take just a little bit more of the 1/4 of an inch, and we're going to make a kind of spine that goes right down the middle of this. Okay, so alright, I'm going to burnish this down really good, and then come on, tear and tape, work with me. There we go. Can I get that one? Come on, tear and tape. Oh my goodness, naturally when I'm in video, it doesn't want to release very easily. There we go. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. Okay, so now you want to kind of push out your mask. So you can see that the curve is right here, and I'm pushing it away from me. And I'm going to line up this little spine in the center, and as I am, I'm pushing it in and pushing the mask open. Just like so. Alright, and that will hold the mask open, and then we'll trim that off so no one sees it, and there's our mask. Okay, fabulous, right? Love it. Okay, now I need to get some of the ribbon, and I'm actually just going to cut a little bit. It doesn't take much. I don't know what that is, 2 inches or so, maybe 1.5 inches, whatever it is. I probably won't even use all of it because, well, yeah, maybe I will. Okay, let's see what this is then. It's 2 inches. So 2 inches is what you want. Okay, and then I'm using glue dots, and I'm just going to put a glue dot on each of the 4 corners, and that's what we're going to use to adhere the straps to our mask. Okay, there we go, just like so. Alright, and now I'm going to just lay that on, and there is one strap of our mask. Isn't that the cutest stinking thing you ever saw? Oh my goodness. These things are super adorable. And then you'll take this one around and do the same thing. Love it. All right, there we go. And that is a paper crafted face mask. I love it. It's so cute. Okay. Now then, let me get my multi-purpose glue and my silicone craft mat, and we are going to adhere some colored strips. So I'm going to use the big chiseled end of my liquid glue. If you've never used that before and didn't know what it was for, well, now you do. It's to glue big spaces, and you get a really nice even consistency when you do it. You can get up to the edges, and then once we get the glue down, we'll lift it off so that we don't get it everywhere. I'm gonna hope anyways. Sometimes I do. Glue is a thing. So, alright, here we go. We're not putting it on too thick. You know, we don't need it globbed on real good. Just enough to be tacky. Alright. Get that out of the way. And then I've laid out my strips already here, so let me just start doing that. Now, one thing I will say is that you want your first piece to start out relatively straight. So, just like so. And then the next one, I'm leaving just a tiny little gap in between, and I will come back along with my adhesive eraser and get out what bits don't just vanish. Alright, so there we go. And then we're just going to keep doing this all the way down. And as you can see, we're making this fabulous pattern with our paper. And I'm leaving just a thin gap in between. There we go. Very nice. All right. I'm really sad to see these colors leave us next month. I can't believe it's already May. They're beautiful colors, and they have served us well, I think. Alright, and then the last one, just like so. And I'm going to tweak these down just a little bit. Maybe. There we go. There we go. That is the wonderful thing about the liquid glue, is that you have a little bit of play time with it. Just a little wiggle room. That's the one that I was a little off. Yeah, there we go. Alright, now I can come along and trim off the excess. get it out of the way. Super cute. I love that. There we go. And we are good. Now let me get this stuff out of the way before it makes an awful mess with me. There we go. Okay. And now my card base. And I think I want to put, let's see, how about the blueberry bushel, huh? Okay. Let's put a piece of blueberry bushel. And I need that to be 4 inches by 5 1/4. And so we'll layer that down, and then we'll layer this down. Oh yes, yes, yes. I love that. I didn't think that I was going to put a background layer, but I really don't want quite that much stark white on the back. So there we go. And then more adhesive. Here we go. Oh, super, super cute. All right, I love it. Very good. Okay, and now I'm going to use dimensionals to pop this up, and I'm also going to use dimensionals to pop this layer up too. Super cute. Now again, just like with the other one, I want to keep it relatively simple. I don't want too much distracting me from the little mask because it's so cute. We don't want our sentiment to bulge, so make sure we get plenty of dimensionals on there. There we go. Okay. Let's just put that right there. Stop moving. There we go. All right. And then we'll use mini dimensionals for the 4 corners of the face mask right over the top of our little glue dots. That will cover up any excess glue that is hanging over from the ribbon, and it will hold our mask on really well. Alright, just like that. And give it a nice press. All right. Oh, that's so cute. I love the rainbow. All right, friends, there you have it. How to make your own COVID-19 card face mask. I hope that you have enjoyed this week's Make It Monday tutorial. And if you have any questions, please feel free to leave a comment down below. You can find the dimensions and measurements for the mask on my blog, and I'll put the link for that down in the description below as well. And I hope that you enjoyed it. So I will see you next time. Until then, bye for now.